Welcome to the finisher spamming tutorial. For those of you who are already familiar with aggressive melee combat, perks and attributes, and cyberware stuffs and how they all work together, feel free to skim through this video. I put titles in the timeline to help with that. However, I made the decision after remaking this video over and over that it's long overdue I explain my general aggressive melee combat build for those that were curious before and as a teaching moment for people who want to get into melee combat. The main point of this video is for finisher spamming how-to, but as a whole, this video works for new players and skilled or experienced players. The first few sections of this video, I go over the perks and attributes, inventory screen, and cyberware that are both good for my build overall, and the needed things to do for finisher spamming. The rest of the video is just finisher spamming teaching parts. I have some clips to help visualize what you will be doing, and then I transition to in-game actually doing it moments. Also, I do everything on very hard, but for those of you who aren't ready for that, it's totally fine to do this on easy or normal difficulty. I feel I explain everything clear enough that anyone can do this, even Netrunner mains. Netrunners. Anyway, you can do this without Phantom Liberty, but I'm teaching it as if you do have it because 2 cyberware selections are only available with Phantom Liberty. Enough of the fluff, let's get into the teaching stuff. Alright, some of the cyberware choices are dependent on some perk choices, so we will go over the perks and attributes first. To start this off, if you do not already have body, reflexes, and tech at 20 each, make a manual save right now. Then go to any Ripper dock and remove all cyberware. Get out of the chair, then go to your character screen and use your one-time reset attributes button on the bottom left. Once that is finished, copy exactly what I will show you here. Now I'm going to show you each of these screens. Notice I took off 10 perk points. I did that because everything remaining is what you need to copy exactly in order to do this. I'm going to pause on each screen for a few seconds so you can pause this video and copy them exactly. Then I will explain why some of the important perks are chosen and the rest are still needed but don't warrant an explanation. You don't need anything in intelligence and cool, so put whatever attribute points you want in them. And then lastly, the skill progression. For using Berserk, which is what I'm teaching you this tutorial, you need solo at 60 because you need this last benefit, especially the first line. 30% enemy health threshold to perform finishers. Got it? Now let's explain. Okay, explaining the perks and how they work with other perks and cyberware. For those of you who already have a solid understanding of them, you can skip this section and move to the next one in the timeline titled Inventory. What I'll be explaining here is more for why the build works overall for aggressive melee combat. This portion of the video isn't necessary to understand in order to do finisher spamming. You can just copy what I have here and then learn the later parts of this video to perform the finisher spamming. I'm keeping this part in the tutorial because I believe some of you are going to learn things you didn't know before. Basics of what this general aggressive melee combat build is. I modify it based on what I'm doing specifically, but this is for some of you that have kind of wanted to get into melee combat. I'm going to go over some of the perks and how the perks work with other perks and how some of the perks work with some of the cyberware. This isn't specific for finisher spamming, but this build works for finisher spamming. So I'm going to take a time out really quick to explain some stuff. So the build itself is a survivability build. It's intended with high mitigation, high health, and high armor, and then how some of those work together. And another thing that I like to do, I haven't noticed many other content creators do, is stamina management. You're not just aware of your surroundings and the enemy locations and stuff like that. You use stamina to do some of the attacks, and how well to manage the stamina is what I do with my build and my playstyle. So let's start off by explaining mitigation. A lot of you, I probably would assume, don't understand how it works or what it exactly is. So mitigation itself is to reduce the amount of incoming damage. So in the stats armor section, so we'll say 1 bullet from a bad guy is 100 damage. Every bullet that comes at you has a chance to be reduced, okay? A chance to be reduced. So right now there's an 11% chance that it will be reduced by 61%. Now we can manipulate that with specifically this, the blood pump. I get 100% mitigation chance for 2 seconds when using the blood pump, which I can activate on purpose or the biomonitor can do. And we can see this in real time. So right now, stats, armor, mitigation chance is 11% and 61% strength for 2 seconds. After health, stats, armor, I now have 100% chance to reduce all incoming damage by 61%. That makes sense? So we'll say if that one bullet is 100 damage, it's now 39 damage. Got it? And then there's a lot more mitigation things. We want to stack everything up. Hence why I like to move a lot. Aggressive melee playstyle, if you want to survive, you got to be moving a lot. Also, we want health to constantly be recharging. So using Adrenaline Rush, going over your health limit, increases the health item recharge speed. Doing Adrenaline Rush also makes it less likely that you're going to get ran over by cars that show up, or cop cars showing up to help the other cops because they're all getting their ass kicked. You don't want to be falling down. Sometimes that slow standing back up animation time is all the time they need to actually fully kill you. You definitely want the movement speed increase, the damage increase, and you want it to decay slower. This side, specifically for finisher spamming, we want to damage the groups, but not so much to actually kill them. And barreling through them is a pretty good trick to just kind of boom, smash them all. If you want to level up your finisher spamming and take it out to the Badlands, the NCPD is replaced by Militech version of cops, and most of them are skull enemies. So you can do the ground sound, which causes more damage and also gives you back some stamina. Next, stamina increase, stamina management. Just doing a simple double jump is going to get you additional stamina. We want stronger mitigation strength while in the air. We definitely want in-air maneuverability. And we also want mitigation chance while dashing. And next, this whole blade section shows katanas and all the stuff, but it's for blades, which mantis blades are blades. So everything here affects the mantis blades. We do want to have 100% dash range towards enemies. We want our leap attacks to be stronger. We do want finishers themselves. We want a larger finisher range so we can keep doing them. We also want them to be more susceptible to finishers. And then we want the increased movement speed from doing finishers. And then the last section, tech tree, technical ability. We do want Edge Runner because we are going to be going over our limit. So Edge Runner does reduce your health the higher over your limit you go, so we're not going to go over it very much. It does give you your chance for Fury, which adds all the extra damage and crit chance and crit damages and stuff, which is nice and fun and cool with the crazy laughing in the background and stuff and the lightning bolts and stuff. But ultimately, we just need it for the extra limit, so that way we can go over with our Cyberware stuff. The next part is definitely needed. It's the ticking time bomb, the powerful EMP burst. So once you activate Berserk, and we're going to go do the finisher spamming on the group, we've already ran through them. We've already hit them with a bunch of our EMP grenades. They're damaged quite a bit, but some of them just aren't in the finisher state. So this EMP burst that happens after a few seconds will put the other ones nearby into a finisher state. So instead of doing finisher spamming on only 4 or 5 enemies, you can do it on 9 to 15 or the entire group if they don't have any robot cops. And another thing that's good for the build is an overall, we won't really be utilizing it very much here because we're going to use EMP grenades for the finisher spamming, but is Pyromania level 3, the very bottom line. If you take damage from the explosion, the effect adds 2 stacks instead of 1. So first and foremost, you need friendly firearms. You take less damage from your own explosion. But the point is, you throw a grenade like you just did right there on screen, and you dash into it so the grenade hurts them and it hurts you. You just got 2 stacks instead of 1. So from that 1 grenade, you now have 10% movement speed and 20% explosion damage for 12 seconds. But this is where it really matters. Heat shield, 10% mitigation chance per stack of Pyromania. If you throw a grenade at a group of enemies, dash into that, the grenade hurts them and it hurts you, bam, plus 20% chance, plus 40% chance, and it lasts for 12 seconds. So yeah, survivability. Definitely want a 3rd grenade so you can keep doing that stuff. Rest of this is important, but really doesn't warrant an explanation. Need nothing in cool, nothing in intelligence. Now, you don't necessarily need this jailbreak stuff for the relic upgrade, but the leap attack from super far away, sometimes when you're doing the finisher spamming on a group, it'll launch you outside of the group, and sometimes it'll launch you pretty far from the group. Every time you do a finisher, the actual animation or a finisher attack while you're in the air, it recharges them. So if it launches you outside of the group, just do your strong attack, leap right back into the group, keep finisher spamming the rest of the group. And this is just because and giggles and shit and stuff. And then the vulnerability analytics, you don't particularly need this. It's just kind of fun and nifty to have on screen for giggles and shit.
Something's wrong.
Damn right something's wrong. You guys aren't doing finisher spamming yet. Look at my jumping shadow. Ooh, a jumping shadow. Ooh. Okie dokie chimmy woomies, we're going to go over the inventory tab really quick. For those of you who aren't super good at melee combat, I would suggest an outfit. I would suggest to put on an armor or one of these health item increases. And then the gas mask, if you happen to have one, just in case they throw gas at you. And you can also put on an armor head covering thingamajig. Okay, next is the weapon itself. You need some sort of a blunt weapon, so that way you can barrel into enemies. So that way, when you're grouping them tight, run through them, throw a couple of EMPs, and then they're ready to go. So some sort of a blunt weapon. It really doesn't have to be tier 5++. You can even craft one or just go buy one. It doesn't even need mods on it at all. You can do the baton, you can do a bat, you can do a crowbar. It really doesn't matter what you do for it. And then lastly, I'm going to be using and teaching you guys to use the EMP grenades. It's pretty good for hitting a large group, and it adds enough damage to kind of put them into a finisher state. It does kill sometimes, but not as often as other grenades. You can also use the gas grenade if you want. You can use the frag grenade, especially if you're going to be utilizing it for, like I said before, the mitigation stacks from Pyromania. Throw it at a group, dash into the group. If the grenade hurts them and hurts you, you just added 20% mitigation chance. Do it again, you got 40% mitigation chance for 12 seconds. You know what I'm saying? But I would only suggest to do that if you really want to level up your finisher spamming and do it out into the Badlands. The NCPD are replaced by Militech cops, and most of those Militech cops are skull enemies. They can take a lot more damage. So, but for now, we're just going to be using the EMP grenade. Okay? Secondly, how to do the barreling into enemies. Have your blunt weapon out, press your aim down sights button, and then run. Just like that. Just like that. And if you're slowing down, hit dash, and it recharges, so you can just keep running. Just like that. Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. Oh wait, I'm tutorialing right now. Okay, sorry. I hate when you have we're recording. Okay, Cyberware, let's go over the build really quick. Again, this is my general survivability, aggressive melee combat build. I modify each one of these things based on exactly what I want to be doing, but for you guys, just copy this exactly. I'm going to quickly go over some of the things and a little longer go over others. But the operating system, Militech Berserk, iconic, tier 5++. If you can upgrade yours, you also want the face, the cockatrice optics, and the shitten are both only from Phantom Liberty at Ripper Docks in Dogtown. Also level those up if you can. Hands, for the most part, these are just filler. I keep this one just because I usually have one throwing knife on me. And this Tiger Claw Dermal imprint, I've got a whole other video as to why, but for the most part, I basically just keep these for whatever build I want. So the stat modifiers at the bottom, plus 7.2% melee damage. I've rebought and remade all of these for high reload speeds or high headshot damage, etc. Cool. Next, circulatory system. We've already gone over the blood pump and the biomonitor and why to have it for its 100% mitigation chance. Adrenaline booster. Want this for just the general build because you get stamina management, the 25% stamina increase from killing someone with a melee weapon. I really like doing the double jump, but I'm sure you can do this with charge jump. Let me know in the comments if you do it with the charge jump, and it does work also for finisher spamming. Cellular adapter I usually use for most of my builds because I like all the benefits of it. Carpache, we're going to go over that in a second on screen in game. Chitin, we want for the high armor. Definitely want Stabber for the increased crit chance. We want Reflex Tuner just in case you do use up all of your health items and it'll slow down time. You can either run away and heal for a second, or you can do a couple finishers on that group to regain health that way. I like to do Needle Fiber, increases mitigation chance and strength. Skeleton, Universal Booster. This is one of my favorites, actually. I use it for almost every one of my builds. The health item now also gives plus 10% armor and 30% less stamina cost for everything for 5 seconds. Plus, it has high armor. Since we've already got fairly high armor, instead of using another armor here, and because we're losing 45 max health, we do want to increase our health, but this already also has a high armor with it as well. So tie. Dense Marrow, because you want to increase your melee damage. You can do whatever Mantis Blades you want. I usually like to do the Electrifying Mantis Blades because there's usually robot cops And typically with the electrifying, you can one-shot them, but whatever. These two are basically filler, and for the most part, you always want to have a self-ice if you do like to take on max attack because they have their net runner, and you don't want to have your movement crippled by his little baby quick hack. He got upload. He just looked at you and stopped your movement. Little uploader. He's your net runner. Anyway, yeah. So we're done with this bullshit. Now let's get into the game and show you exactly how to do the stuff. We are ready to do the actual finish for spamming. I suggest to go into like some sort of an open area like this to practice the buttons that I'm teaching you right now. So we've got the group tight and they are injured enough. We're ready to do the finisher spamming. Okay? You pull out your mantis blades, activate berserk, and you enter from above. Okay? You dash into the group. Here is how to actually do what you're going to do. You're going to press and hold, walk backwards. For controller, I don't know what the finisher button is, but for keyboard, it's F for me. So you're pressing F over and over and over and over again, and jump over and over and over again. F and jump. F, 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 jump, 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 F, 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 jump, 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 while holding walk backwards. This is the basics of it. So you enter the group, press and hold, walk backwards, F, 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 jump, 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 F, 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 jump, 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 jump. Just keep spamming the shit out of both of them at the same time. Got it? Now, the part I can't really describe is a feel for this. You're going to have to learn this yourself. The finisher attack while in the air has sort of like a 1 second, sometimes 2 second aim lock. It like aim grabs the enemy that you just attacked or are about to attack. After you start doing this several times, you'll learn how to manipulate that. Then you can start pressing left, you can start pressing right, you can even sort of dash in the air while doing it. So that way you can kind of stay aimed at the group that you're doing the finisher spamming to. But remember, the basics. Walk backwards, press and spam the shit out of F and jump. Finisher button, jump. Got it? Tight. Now we've got all of the build of the body figured out. Now let's figure out where to go. The northern section of the map. This is your very first apartment. This is Ripper Doc Vic. Over here, this bridge right here is an overpass. There are two of them. There's an upper level and a lower level. We're going to do this on the lower level. It's the perfect area to learn how to do this. Also, in this area, right where I'm at, is a fast travel. There's a lot of civilians. It's far easier to get the cops after you if you just kill a whole bunch of civilians and cops right here. Then we go up the off-ramp to the lower level. See where we're at? Civilians, cop right there. So, kill a whole bunch of people, and then come out this side, this left side, because the right side goes to the top. Okay, next thing we're going to go over is how to group the cops together. I strongly suggest to do this with the mini map on, so that way you can see just how many of them are. Once you get 4 or 5 stars, you're going to start having a lot of cops come after you. Get them behind you, so they're behind me right here, right? So they're over here. And then give yourself some health, that way you have adrenaline rush. And then just jump and dash left and right, so that way you're activating the mitigation, strength, and chances. Plus, you're activating the Carapace, 32% armor effectiveness when attacked from the side or the rear. So when they're behind you. So just keep doing this, keep looking at the mini-map, just keep jumping, dash left, right. Once you've got them in a fairly tight group, you can start jumping around them, dropping your EMP grenades. Make sure hit it to the front of the group, hit it to the back of the group. Yeah. Also, pull out your blunt weapon and charge at them. Elbow through, elbow, 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 elbow. Hit a whole bunch of them. Pull out your blunt weapon, run through them. Alright, ready? Throw one more EMP nade at him. Pull out the blades. Let's go. Okay, so see how we got a pretty sizable group? Let's move them over here. So what you're going to do is face away, and we're going to be activating that Carapace and our mitigations. Keep them behind you. Keep looking at the mini-map. See how they get closer, closer, Back up, see just how tight they are. All right, that's a pretty sizable group. Let's throw one EMP nade at them, throw another EMP nade at them, and then let's go to the other side and let's barrel through a whole bunch. Okay, now they're ready. Let's go. Nice. Cool. Now we're done with that group. See, we got 5 stars, no max tags. Let's go down the road again so we can get another group ready to go. Alrighty, chums, I'm pretty sure you can infer the rest of that part of the clip, how to go group after group after group. As you can see on screen right now, you can do finisher spamming with literally any weapon that has a finisher option, because Berserk gives you the finisher option whether or not you even have it selected. But I promise you, Mantis Blades is like by far the coolest. It's dope. It's prima. It's Nova. Anyway, let me know how finisher spamming goes for you guys. And thanks for watching Yucky Bubbles. Ew.